Hello, my friends, and welcome to this special time together as we do another Sunday morning from my home office. Someone contacted me and said, why don't we do it from our sanctuary in our center? The reason is the building where we are. We had a 5-hour notice and they locked the building and we haven't been able to get into it. But my wonderful Katrina, the wonderful demonstrator of greater good in our center, God love her, she's office manager and my right hand and everything else she does. And one of the things she does beautifully is edit this experience on Sunday morning and Wednesday night. So we'll be putting 2 a week on until we can resume along with the rest of the world in the right time and the right way. So let's think about a lesson this morning and what we're going to explore. I was thinking about what I wanted to share with you this morning and what I want you to think about, and I'm in the middle right now of getting some Thomas Trord inspiration. Thomas Trord, who is, what would you consider, the grandfather of our teaching? Anyhow, Thomas Trord pointed out in his wonderful book, Creative Process in the Individual, that you are the creative process. I am the creative process. We're not using the creative process. We are the creative process, which leads us to the lesson of Jesus. It's done unto you as you believe. Done unto you. Dr. Ernest Holmes of Religious Science taught very clearly, along with his brother, who was my teacher, Dr. Fenwick Holmes, that whatever we give attention to gives attention to us. So what are you giving attention to right now? How miserable this is to be locked up, or that you are taking the time. I was just talking to one of my colleagues on the East Coast, and they've been talking about writing a book for years. I said, look, you're locked up now. You got the computer. Go for it. Write the book. Utilize the time in the right way and invest in yourself. See, it doesn't matter. Every day is an opportunity to invest in yourself. And we do it, again, by way of our attention. Think about it. Just put it in first person. Whatever I give attention to gives attention to me. Now, what is this leading us to? It's leading us to the awareness that you go where your mind takes you. This is basic metaphysical study. This is basic study without nincompoopry in the way. It is basic understanding of the metaphysical teaching in divine science, unity, religious science. Dr. Fenwick Holmes and Dr. Craig Carter, 2 of my teachers, pointed out to me over and over again, especially Dr. Carter, we then begin to apply the science of mind. You see, you cannot go higher than your self-definition. Improve your self-definition and your intention will enhance itself, and your attention will begin to manifest in a new and beautiful way. Again, all experience results from states of consciousness. Now, of question I'll ask you this morning, or evening, or whenever you're watching this. The question would be, to what are you giving your mental attention? You see, visual attention it's not as important as mental attention, starting with spiritual attention. Now, I'll ask you this question. Are your key ideas about yourself, the situation you're in, I'm in, everybody in the world's in right now, are your key ideas creative and positive and worth your attention? If not, then I would recommend by all means that you change your expanding ideas. Your expanding ideas of good, and know they're good enough to be true and good enough to be you. You deserve the best today. Remember, Einstein said that the number one question in the mind of the human being is the universe friendly? Yes, it is. Greater good, my dear friends, is as near as your next thought. Every new thought teacher on earth is teaching that this morning. Oh, all of you watching have a great opportunity to hear some wonderful, wonderful teachers. Some great, great new thought leaders that are stepping forth and giving the world a higher level of courage. Now, let's get back to attention. Your expectations are clues to the creative process within you. We were talking about creative process a minute ago. You see, the great teachers have taught that you have to expect more good and think more good to have more good. That's simple. Most people have a low level of expectancy. I know they're dealing with situations all over the country, all over the world, where this lockdown that we've been going through, people have used it as an opportunity to experience depression and unhappiness and expectation. But remember, when you know what and who you are, you can move through anything and be unmoved by it. Know that the negative has no authority in your mind right now. Know that you are now the productive consciousness of greater growth. If you expect everything to continue the way things are now, then that is all you will get out of your life in the days to come, the weeks to come, the months to come, the years to come. So, my recommendation this morning is give your attention not to fantasies, but to clear knowing. And expecting what you want. Check this morning. Check your basic beliefs about your health, your basic beliefs about your money, your basic beliefs about your ability to give and receive love. If your expectations in these areas are minor, you'll be in trouble. You see, mind can produce only what we give it to produce. If you give your mind's attention to negative ideas and conditions, then your negative situations will increase. Let's go back and look at the history of the human experience. We find that primitive man, primitive woman, what did they do? They developed prayer. Now, they developed prayer as a means of doing what? Shifting their attention. Shifting their attention from the problem to a solution. We could go back as an old metaphysical lesson. When you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, then you will do something with yourself. So, let's look at this. This is why spiritual beliefs honestly practiced produce results, both East and West. Christian, Jew, Islam, Buddhist, Hindu, Sikh, Jain. Put my hands like this, and I was sitting in Founders Church on a Wednesday night. I was about 24 years old, and I'm sitting there like this in the closing treatment by Dr. William Hornaday, and when it was through, somebody near me came up and said, "Jay, if you'll put your thumb on this finger instead of this finger, it's more powerful." Anyhow, and I sat there and did that for a minute, and then I thought, what if I put a banana in my ear and stand on one foot and believe that would do it? You see, what we should be dealing with is belief, not how we get to the belief. If it's Baptist prayer, Catholic prayer, Presbyterian prayer, Jewish prayer, Hindu meditation, Buddhist clarity, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You see, if the technique is believed in and practical and sensible, you'll reveal it. You'll reveal the truth of it. This is why every denomination, every religion, they all prove what they believe to themselves. Why? Because that's what they accept at the moment. But remember, as the Buddhists teach us, when the finger's pointing to the moon, don't confuse the finger with the moon. See where it's pointing. In the beginning of the great, wonderful book, Dr. Ernest Holmes' last book he wrote with dear Dr. Fenwick Holmes, The Voice Celestial. In The Voice Celestial, Dr. Holmes, who's really talking about himself, says that it is not enough that the great, the good, the wise knew what they knew, that the great teachers knew what they knew. They were able to demonstrate what they demonstrated. He said that's not enough that they knew what they knew and that I know that they knew it. What I need to know is what I myself can know. So what do we need to do? We need to guard our consciousness. So I'll give you a charge. You ready? Guard your consciousness with all diligence. For out of your consciousness comes the facts of your experience. Now, Keep in mind this morning that love in action, and that love in action as you knows what to do, knows how to do it, and that love is blessing you. Know that all the good that the infinite mind has can be yours when you expect it, when you give it, and give your attention to it. You have a right to claim it. You have a right to experience it. So my dear friends, my dear colleagues, my dear fellow ministers in New Thought and practitioners and students, keep in mind the more you know there's more to know. Keep knowing. Turn it into wisdom by good enough to be true. And that's the way it is. And so it is. Thank you for being with me this morning. Namaste. And now, I love it. And Katrina, my wonderful right-handed office manager and doer of all good things, reminds me to remind you that our building is closed. We can't do a Sunday service or a Wednesday service the way we've been doing it for 45 years here in the Tri-City area. So instead of being able to pass a physical love offering basket, I'm going to pass a metaphysical love offering basket and ask you to think about a love offering to our wonderful center. We certainly would thank you and bless you. And as you give, know it multiplies and returns. And now, let's have a closing treatment. We've talked about attention this morning. I would like to lay a foundation for this spiritual mind treatment. Dr. Ernest Holmes said in the Science of Mind textbook, a certain specific intelligent idea in mind will produce a certain specific concrete manifestation equal to itself. Okay. Equal to itself. So let's speak our word now. I'm going to speak in first person. I would like you to share it with me in consciousness in first person. In the heart of everyone sharing this with me now, I know the desire for renewal, to let go and let this experience the world is going through that has locked us up now becomes history. So I celebrate daily renewal. I affirm this and know that daily renewal is good enough to be true because there is one divine intelligence created in its image and after its likeness. I discover what infinite intelligence means to itself as me. I evolve as I develop my understanding of universal mind and know it is everything I am. I thrive. I thrive as spirit responds. As spirit responds to my positive expectation of greatness. I bless my word with peace, harmony, and joy. I relax into my good as I allow love to rule my emotions, as I flow with a clear understanding that the relative is always subject to the absolute. The relative is the absolute at the level of the relative. I renew my affirmative ideas. As I do this, I experience the best. I choose to show my inmost self how? By way of my actions and my words, and I lift my consciousness right now. I authorize truth. I know my life is a continuous process blessed by my daily renewal. I am new in the now. I truly give thanks. In confidence right now, I release my word to the law of mind. It acts upon it because it knows what to do, how to do it, and does it now as me, as my world, as my event. I bless this moment and move to a whole new level of freedom. I let it be my way. And so it is. And so it is. I want to thank all of you for sharing this time with me this morning, or afternoon, or evening, whenever you're watching this. We'll be doing this on Wednesday night and Sunday morning until our lockup is over. Bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Know that you are a mighty moving power of God. And act like it's true, because it is. Have a good one.